Okay, here's one reason why. I think it's my car that he is using to track me. It's only when I'm in my vehicle. Only when I'm in my vehicle and I have my earbuds in, my Bluetooth connected to my earbuds. The whole time I'm in my car, this is what my earbuds do. In my ear. Connected. Disconnected. Another minute goes by. Connected. Disconnected. They're doing it right now. Right now. Only when I'm in my car. So for some reason, the connection of my Bluetooth to my earbuds when I'm in my car, it just keeps going on and off. That's a sign to me, because that just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Why would your earbuds connect and disconnect and connect and disconnect and connect the whole fucking time when you're in your car? Why? Well, like I said before, when you're hacked, it does a lot of wonky, weird things to your things. So, I think, and not only that, I haven't seen him. First of all, the Find My is off, finally. I couldn't shut it off. All those times I showed y'all that I couldn't shut it off, because every time I tried to shut it off, all it did was pop me back to the home screen on my phone. Well, it shut off. I don't know. He must have shut it off, finally. Because he realized my car Ford Sync was back online. So, he no longer needs to use the Find My. He can just see where I'm at with my car. I mean, he's assuming that, I'm not using someone else's car or whatever else, but whatever. Oh my God, I thought that was a deer. But yeah, that's one major reason why I believe he's using the car. Also, because of what I've already described, I have Wi-Fi in the car, which I'm not supposed to have. I'm not supposed to have Wi-Fi, but I do. Not supposed to, but I do. I did go to Ford, and they told me about the Ford app, and that I can get, anybody who's connected to the car off of it, but that hasn't seemed to work. Hasn't worked, and I'm not sure why that would be. I might have to go back to them. He did say he could do some other things to try to help me. So I might do that before I disable it again. But if they can't help me, then I'm just going to disable it. But this Ford app is pretty cool, because I can start my car remotely, which I had no idea I could do, and it's free, man. Didn't have to pay for a remote starter and get it installed and everything. Just download this app. I can fucking shut my car and turn it on in the house, well, wherever I am. Yeah. So that's pretty cool, learning that right at the beginning of winter. What else? So I have that Wi-Fi. What else? The way that it would come up on my phone as different things, like 1 minute it's Bluetooth, the next minute it's Ford Sync 3 or something like that. And what else was it? It was something else, now I can't remember. 3 different things that my, car came up as on my phone. So why would that be? We know why. So there's that. As far as the hacking, I have a video and this is pretty sad. The very first night that I set up a camera, right? Which I didn't get the video itself, because like I said before, I didn't want him to recognize it, which he may not have that first night, but whatever. I hid it so it would be, less likely that he would be he would be, what do you call it, that he would know, I hid it. So it's really just the audio that I got, but whatever, that's good enough for me. And that very first night, which I assumed, now I know I've said this before, I'm going to repeat myself, I assumed that what I would capture is him on the phone, him on his secret phone, which he continually said he didn't have, that he's only ever had one phone, but yet I can see that he was paying for phone service through Spectrum. So obviously he had another phone. Not only that, I found his other phone number online. Not only that, many other things. I mean, obvious. He had more than one phone, okay? So I really believed what I'm going to do is, and by the way, I have recorded him sending messages while he's watching a video on YouTube. So that right there is proof that he's got two phones. How can you be sending a message to someone while you're watching a YouTube video? You can't do that. not and have the video continue playing continuously. You can't do that. So yeah. So I did show that. I did record that. But no, I thought I was going to just record him talking to her, on the phone. That's what I thought. Because even though I've been shown time and time again how really low, cruel, and disgusting a person he is, even though I've been shown that over and over, I still, in my mind, couldn't see him going as low as he actually did, which is bringing the fucking whore in my fucking home. Yeah. Knowing how devastated I was about all of it, that didn't matter to him at all. That just did not fucking matter to him at all. He didn't stop and think, well, me doing this is obviously got her pretty down, hurt her pretty bad, devastated her really, caused me to be non-functional pretty much for a year. Couldn't get out of bed. He saw that, and instead of thinking, geez, I ought to cut the shit. Enough, right? I've had enough. She's had enough. Clearly, she's gone through enough. Even I'm not admitting it. She's hurting. It's not good for her, and it's not good for our kids to see her like this. So I should cut the shit. But at the very least, I should keep it away from the house. No, he didn't think that. He thought, oh, my wife can't function? My wife's ready to die over this shit? Why don't I just bring my whore in the house, in my bathroom that I share with my kids and my wife, who can't function, and fuck her in there as much as possible. Yeah, that's what he thought. That's what he did. That's what he thought. That's what he did. That's what he fucking did. And the very first fucking night that I set up a camera, the first night, night one, I recorded him fucking her in my house. Yep, the first night. And the second night too. Yep. 9/23 and 9/24, both nights she's in my fucking home. Almost every time I set up to record, I caught them. Almost. Way more than you would imagine. Yep. I mean, fuck. I recorded myself getting ready for work, and me leaving for work, and minutes later, them coming out of hiding and doing their nasty thing. Yes, I recorded that. So they were both in my home when I was there, probably asleep. And then when I woke up, they went and hid, let me get ready, let me leave, and then they came out of hiding to enjoy each other. Yep, I recorded that. Yes, I did. So, you know, if that's the kind of filthy, disgusting person he is, and then to let it get to this point where I can't even be with my children, they're missing out on having a mother right now. They're not going to have their mother on their 11th birthday. Yeah, because of his inability to not be a disgusting dirtbag. If he's that filthy of a disgusting lowlife, loser, what hope is there? There's no hope. There's no hope. If he can do all that and still be doing it as we speak, there's just no hope that he's going to do any better. Why would he do any better? Why would he change? He had plenty of opportunity to change that shit, didn't he? He did. I mean, I've been begging him for fucking years. Since I discovered it, I've been begging him, you know? And he just couldn't. He just couldn't. And once again, kids are home alone. So, you know, he is what he is. He'll never change. I mean, if none of this is gonna make him change, if our son saying he wants to die isn't gonna force his father to do the right thing and be a decent human being, nothing will, right? Nothing will. And same with that freaking dumb ass that he's manipulating into keeping her legs wide open. Nothing's gonna convince her either. I mean, if that's not enough for her, you know, it's like nothing. She just wants to be used by him and tell herself she's, you know, what he wants and what he really loves and what he really needs, and, you know, he'll go to any lengths to have her. You know, he also was trying to go to any lengths not to have to divorce me, right? But, you know, that didn't matter. That didn't matter. None of that mattered. None of that mattered. It didn't matter that he lied to me day after day after day for how many fucking years? That didn't matter to her. Nope, didn't matter. Just because he was lying to me, you know, I wasn't the one he wanted. She was the one he wanted, so so she wasn't gonna get any of his lies. Nope, only the one that he was stuck with, right, would be getting his lies, right? What a dumb bitch. And then to really believe that he really finds her more beautiful than me. I mean, I don't think there's a person alive who could say that and be telling the truth. I don't think there's one person on earth who could look at both of us and say, oh, that one's prettier, that one's sexier, that one's hotter, and be talking about her. I don't think so. Not if they have eyes to see. But she's gonna convince herself that he really feels that way. It's got nothing to do with this sick, you know, weird perversion. It's got nothing to do with his, you know, control. It's about control. He's controlling her to do what he wants her to do and act the way he wants her to act. She's gonna tell herself it's got nothing to do with that. Nope, nothing to do with the fact that he's a sick man. Nope. It's only got to do with the fact that he loves her and finds her so amazing and beautiful and sexy and irresistible. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And so because he finds her so, you know, irresistible, they've got to hide, lie, destroy people, you know, because they got to have each other. And in order to have each other, they got to lie and hide and scheme and I mean, no, okay, Yeah, no one's gonna stop their love. They're like Romeo and Juliet. They can't be kept apart. Oh my God. What does she tell herself for real? I mean, just go back on my page. Take a good look. Take a good look at her picture. Listen, I found on his phone, not only did I find a photo that he took of a photo stack that he took of himself laying on her bed. Not only did I find that, but I found photos of me that were not good photos. Okay? You know, sometimes people take a bad photo, or if you take a screenshot of a face they're making when they're talking, because that's what he did. I sent him a video. And I, you know, obviously, I thought I so stupidly thought it was going to be between me and him, and we're husband and wife, so he can see me at my worst, right? No makeup, you know, whatever. But I shouldn't have done that, because he took full advantage of that. Yeah, he took a snapshot of me making a face, not looking good, and I found it on his phone. And I'm like, why would you have a bad picture of me like that on your phone? Why would you do that? Why would you have that on your phone? Oh, to make fun of with her, so you can have more proof for her that I'm not what you want or love or like, right? Just more foreplay content, right? Nasty pictures of your wife. Okay. That's what that was. That's why you needed that. Because you needed some more, you know, just some more ways to shit on me with her or for her, to show her, look, I don't want her, I don't love her, I don't like her. Look, I'm taking these bad photos of her so we can laugh at her together, because I don't like her, and I love you, and I'm doing this for you. Yeah, I'm taking gross pictures of my wife to shit on her for you, because you're the one I love. I mean, you know, that's all it took. Like, that's the kind of shit that it took. Yep, he certainly loves me. He loves me. With my little dick eye bag. I mean, oh my God. With my hair sticking up like alfalfa. That's what her hair looked like when I went to her house that day. It looked like alfalfa. She was come out of bed. I partied all night long. Got fucked and rammed real hard all night long. That's what she looked like, because that's what she had done. I know they did the drugs that night too. But anyway, she's ugly. Sorry, she's just not attractive. But she's going to convince herself that he thinks she is, and he thinks she's way more attractive than I am, his wife, that he won't divorce. That he's trying to get rid of in a different way, so that he doesn't have to say he wanted to divorce me. No, he gets to say, I wanted my family, I wanted my wife, but, you know, she was just mental, so... Or she got into a car accident because her sun visor was off for some strange reason. It just fell off. Yeah, it was loose the whole time, and then finally the whole thing fell off into her lap, and I was miles and miles away when she had that accident. I mean, it was a month after I told him that it was so upsetting to me that I almost cut them together, that I almost crashed 4 times. So he took that info that I gave him, that, hey, I almost got into a car accident because of all this shit, and just tried to push it along. Oh, she's driving and upset, and she almost got into a car crash. How can I make that for real happen? That's what he did. And even worse, you know, even worse before that, he was trying to get rid of me for a long time. not constantly. I think he'd go back and forth. Like maybe he thought, he could just keep going the way he was going, and everything would be fine. Maybe he thought, he might have thought at times that he was going to be able to stop his gross addiction to his mother, I think maybe he thought that, I don't know. Who knows? But something tells me, he'd go back and forth on what he thought he was going to do or what was going to happen. Yeah. But, in the end, this is where we're at right now. He could not give up that sick shit. He couldn't. He didn't want to. He would rather let his children lose their mother. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So, and that's all his doing. That is his fucking doing. Because I gave him chance after chance after chance after chance to not get to this point. Please don't get to this point. Don't let it get to that point. Do the right thing. Be good. Be a good man. Be a good father. Be a good husband. Just be a good person. Do the right thing. Make it right. I said that to him over and over again. Make it right. Make it right. Make it right. He couldn't do that. All he kept doing was lying, denying, calling me delusional, calling me crazy. That's what he could do. I haven't even talked to that woman. And then he even, because I don't know if you've been following my YouTube too, we did call her together before we had our Florida vacation with the kids. We called her. That was, we had our vacation in June. We called her in June. So of course they pretended like they hadn't spoken to each other in what it had been since 2023 at that point, right? So when I called her using his phone, right, she acted surprised. Hello? And he was like, hey, I know we haven't talked. Oh, I know. She did okay acting at that moment. She fooled me for a minute with that one, but not for long. So anyways, what was my point? Shit, I forgot. I fucking forgot. Oh, I know. So after we had that conversation, right, and I was able to say some things or whatever, and I stupidly never recorded it, and I could have even said, I'm recording this right now, and what would she have said? No. I wish I would have done that, but whatever. I didn't, and that's okay. That's okay. I remember some of it, and it doesn't matter anyways. It was useless. So anyways, after that, he was telling my mother about that, right? He was telling my mother, but this is one reason why I wish I had recorded it, because then I would be able to show you that he was lying when he told my mother that, she wanted nothing to do with this. She wanted nothing to do with my accusations, and they were ridiculous and blah, blah, blah. And the only reason she agreed to talk with us was because he used to be friends with her son. That's what he told my mother. But she never said that. We never even talked about that at all. No. In fact, we were on the phone with her for a good hour. She never said anything like, I want nothing to do with it. No, she was, answering all questions, and the ones that she couldn't or wouldn't answer, she just denied vehemently. and gossip. No, you know. But she never said like she was going to hang up or, what is this? This is crazy. She never, no, none of that. None of that. She never said, the only reason I'm talking to you is because of my, she never said anything remotely close to that. But that's what he told my mother, she said. And I asked him, when did she say that? I should bring up the messages. Because I asked him in text messages, what do you mean? When did she say that? She never said that. When did she ever say that? What, did you talk to her afterwards and she said that? Because she never said that. And I can't remember what his answer was. He probably just ignored me, like he usually does when he, you know, can't think of a good lie or just, you know, can only lie. He either lies or ignores me. Yeah. And there's a few things that I've asked him over and over again. Hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? And every fucking time I ask him, he's got nothing to say. Zip, zero, nada, not one fucking thing to say about these particular things that I have questions for him about. And someday we can talk about those things. I'm not going to talk about them right now, but they're pretty serious. They're pretty difficult things to talk about. They're not anything pretty. They're not anything nice. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet. But yeah, I have, and even to his face, asked him these questions. Never get a response. I never, ever get a response to these particular things that I've asked him about over and over and over again. It's just always silence. Nothing to say. That just speaks volumes, doesn't it? When someone has nothing to say, when you ask them a direct question, and they've got nothing to say, doesn't that speak volumes? No. Sometimes silence speaks volumes. And it does in this case, let me tell you. It does. You know, I've revealed a lot of sad, disgusting, shocking, terrible things about this situation, about how he's treated me, about, you know, everything that I've had to go through, endure, and what our children have had to, and it's not even a quarter of the pie. Not even, y'all, there's a lot more to it. A lot. And it's a long story. I mean, it takes place over years and years. And anybody that's just recently started following me or watching any of this, I do have a YouTube channel. Maybe I'll just post it on here. If you're interested, you can go look at that. It tells some of our story from like when we first started our relationship. Hold on. Okay, so, and this is a long friggin' video. It tells a good part of the story about the beginning. And then the story ends up catching up with where I was. And then eventually what happened was he started the hacking. He hacked my accounts, he hacked my Google, he hacked my phone. I only had a phone at that time. Then he hacked my new phone. As soon as I got the new phone, he hacked that as well. But at one point, he got into my Google and he took over my Google, and I couldn't even get into my Google. I couldn't get into my YouTube. So I couldn't post any videos for that amount of time that he was in there. But then I finally got it back. and I was able to post some more videos. And then I haven't posted one for a while. I haven't posted one since right after, I think, I was in jail. He got me arrested. I think it was the second time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the second time. And I don't know. I've just been sticking to Facebook. It's easier, you know. I'm by myself. I don't have anyone helping me with this shit. It's just me. So it's easier just to post to one place. But, you know, for purposes of reaching more people, I think I probably should continue posting to YouTube. And, I mean, I already have a TikTok account that was mostly devoted to the paranormal shit that I was experiencing for a long time, which I should bring that up too. It's strange, you know, and it was just another way for him to hurt me too, as far as not supporting me in that, not believing me. And I know a lot of people do not believe in the paranormal for whatever stupid reason, but they don't, you know, but he always said that he did. He always said that he did. And I actually had a video of him talking about that. I wish I had my hands on that, because he did. He was telling Dawn, who we lived with before, that he did believe in that shit, and he actually experienced some of his own shit. So he believed in it. But yet when it came to me, nope, wasn't believing it. You know? Just always had to not be supportive for me. Always had to cut me down. It just always had to, you know, put me down. I was always put down. I was never lifted up. I was never treated the way I should have been treated. I was never respected. I was never shown real love and kindness. And, you know, it was all just superficial. Like, you know, he could go to the store and get me, you know, this, that, and whatever else at the store. He could buy something for me, right? He could do that. He could, you know, bring me something to eat. But even then, sometimes, like, he would complain, like, I had to stay and make you eggs. You know, I had to boil me eggs, and you would bitch about it. And this is supposed to be the most loyal, devoted, loving family man. You know, so. But anything else? No, that was it. That was the limit of what he could do to make me feel loved and important and like I mattered. That was pretty much it. I never got flowers. You know, I never got anything really nice. You know, I was always just never worth that. I was never, you know, made to feel like I was beautiful, desirable. No, I was always, you know, bitched at if anyone had, you know, had the hots for me. It was my fault, and I wasn't loyal because someone was attracted to me that I had no control over. But he could be, you know, going behind my back and like literally bowing down to this old woman and be able to say, well, he was just, you know, showing respect to his buddy's mother. That's all that was. Okay. You know, I mean, yeah, stealing from me for her because you got to respect your buddy's mother. So you steal from your wife? Okay. You're fucking whack. You are whack. And you got one fucking nerve to fucking say that I'm the wacky one? No. No. That's just the, you know, the narcissist turning the tables on you. That's what they do. They always turn the tables. You know, if they're if they're doing wrong, they're somehow gonna justify what they're doing and turn and point the finger. No, you did wrong. You this and you that. You know, always. It's always. I mean, I have the conversation of when I'm telling him, I'm not going to allow you to hurt me anymore. I'm not going to allow you to hurt me, to treat me badly, to abuse me, to cut me down. I'm not going to let you treat me like this anymore. In other words, I'm standing up for myself against you and your cruelty, and I'm not going to just take your bullshit anymore. So you know what he said to me? You just don't like it when I stand up for myself. Oh, really? I don't like it when you stand up for yourself? You mean like what I'm doing right now? Classic turn the tables. That's what he does. That's what he always does. Turn it all around on you. You mean you're not liking me standing up for myself? Oh, okay. No, I know you don't like it, honey. I know you don't. Because you like control. You like having control. You like me being under your thumb and being helpless and feeling worthless and looking to you for something, you know, to feel good, to you know, confirm for me that you really do love me and care about me and we're gonna be okay and you're always gonna be here for me and be a good, loyal, devoted husband to me. And what a joke. Fucking, it's the last thing he is. No, he wanted to use me and take advantage of me for everything that he could. That's it. And so when I said, well, you can't do that anymore, he didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. What's he gonna do? He's gonna discredit me. He's gonna somehow convince everyone that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just completely delusional. Don't know what I'm saying. I'm just so fucked up from the drugs that he handed me. Yeah, I'm so fucked up by those drugs that he kept handing me. Yeah, okay. And you know what's even sadder about all this? Is when I finally, woke up and realized the situation I was in. And what was the first thing I did? Basically reached out to, and you might look back and say, well, that was kind of stupid, Marissa, but I really did believe, I was so fooled. I believed these people were good people. They were good people. They were really family, some of them. And they were gonna be on the right side, right? Whatever side that was, they were gonna be on the side of right. Right? So I reached out to these people, believing that that's who they were. They were good, decent people. And really, they just took his side, knowing what he was doing, how it was affecting me, and obviously the kids, knowing the lies he was telling, knowing it was putting me in so much distress, that I was distraught, that I was losing it. I wasn't okay, and it wasn't okay. None of it was okay. They did not help. They lied for him. They pointed their fingers at me. They cut me down. They called me names. They said I was delusional too. They, stood up for him. Yeah. They stood up for him. They cut me down and held him up and said I was ruining my family. I was. What, because I won't accept him being a lying, cheating scumbag? That means I'm ruining my family? But no, he is not cheating on you. Cut your shit. Just cut the shit. He's not cheating on you, for God's sakes. But he was, and they knew he was. And you wouldn't believe how many people were willing to do that, to lie for him and gaslight me with him. Because that's what that is. Calling me crazy and delusional. That's gaslighting. So, he had his friends, more than one, and his brother, and my sister-in-law, willing, and not only willing, but they did. They were willing to, and they did do that for him. Lied for him. Shit on me. They did that. Easily. No matter what I showed them, no matter what I had to say, look, no, you're wrong. You're not listening to me. This is what's really going on here. Like, look, no matter what. No, you know, some of like his best friends would. I know it looks like that, but it's probably not. You know, I mean, she knew. Come on, she knew. But nope, she was perfectly fine. And she said she was an abused woman. This woman was supposedly a woman who knew what it was to be abused by a man. And she still was on that side, helping them abuse me. Helping him abuse me. Yeah, for real. And it's like shocking. It's like, really? These people were just, nobody, like, why? Well, obviously, it was to their benefit. Obviously, they were benefiting from it to take his side, you know, because it was more beneficial for them to be his friend than mine, or not even be my friend, to just stand up for me and what was right, and my kids, you know. They'd rather have his help with their stairs or their room that they need done, you know, than they would stand up for what was right for kids and an abused woman, me, you know. They didn't want to lose out on their handyman. So they abused his wife, because that is abuse. That's gaslighting. They were mean to me. I mean, his fucking best friend said, you know, you could have it so good if you only. I could have it so good if only I would, you know, leave it alone. Not speak out against the shit he was doing. You know, if I would just do what I was supposed to do. Be quiet, you know, whatever. You fill in the blank. If only I, Marissa, would do this or not do this, I could have it so good. Okay. Whatever, fucking loser. Gross. You're fucking gross. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. What the fuck? But you wouldn't believe how many people would do such a thing. I cannot imagine that. I cannot imagine. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I will never say, oh, well, you know, my friend or my handyman or whatever he is to me, he's doing this nasty thing to his woman and children, right? And she's like asking for help and speaking against it and saying, hey, this isn't okay and I'm not okay with this. And she's asking for my support, right? I cannot imagine saying, okay, well, I know he's doing her dirty. And she's really looking for validation at this point. I can't imagine saying, no, I'm gonna lie for him, whoever he is to me, my friend or whatever, or even if it's a woman, you know. I wouldn't do that to someone. I can't imagine supporting debauchery and abuse and lies for anyone, especially if there's children involved. Especially if there's kids involved. I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But he had this person and this person and this person all ready to do that, immediately do that for him. At least 3, and then their partners. Well, the third person, I can't say if that partner really jumped on, because I never talked to her, and not in any way, like not even in messages. So I can't say that but I mean, I kind of do, because I know she was aware of what was going on, and she like was accepting of some of the shit. So even though I never spoke with this woman or had any interaction with her, I feel like she accepted and allowed some of the things to go on her property and stuff. So for that reason, I count her. But she wasn't like the other 2, who, you know, lied right to me and really was so rude and unkind and uncaring. I can't put her with them on that level. But yeah, so that's six really, if you count that 6th one, people who did that. And one of them claiming she was an abused woman from the past, like someone abused her in her past. Can you fucking believe that? It's hard to believe, I know. And they counted on that. They counted on this shit not being easy to believe, so that they could say, listen to that, that's just insane. That's insane what she's saying. Well, they counted on that. They counted on it sounding unbelievable. But they clearly underestimated what I'd be able to do, what I'd be able to prove. I've been underestimated in my life so many times. It's not surprising. I'm trying to think if there was anyone else really that jumped on that bandwagon. Not really. It was mostly them. Of course, there were others that he, you know, manipulated to the best of his ability into believing that I was out of my mind, delusional, including my kids, you know, confused people. You know, there are some people that still are hemming and hawing. Even with everything I recorded, they're still unsure, you know. They listen and they can't hear what I'm telling them is on the recording. So, they don't know. They don't know, you know, if they can trust what he tells them or not. They don't know. It's like, really? At this point, really? Okay. Whatever. And then there are some people that, you know, no matter what, they kind of have to be in the middle. Really for the kids, they kind of have to remain neutral. And it sucks. It frustrates me. But at the same time, you know, trying to put myself in their shoes, and I can't, you know, be angry with them for having to do what they have to do, and having to stand where they have to stand, as far as, you know, they can't really take sides, and not that I really want them to take sides, it's just that I want them to admit the truth. That's all, really. I mean, you don't have to take a side if you're admitting the truth, though. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can say this is the truth and still say, okay, even though they know the truth, they can't, you know, take a side. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. Whatever. It is irritating. It's irritating because fucking What more do you need? What more do you fucking need to be able to say, okay, I see what you're saying about him, and I see the truth. What more? What more do you need? Because I really don't know what you would need other than what I've already showed. I don't know. I mean, just like, when her daughter, her stupid, dumb daughter, was saying, oh, well, unless they have messages saying, let's fuck, and that, she wanted him to leave you, then I just don't buy it. And I gave her that. And she still has the fucking stupid fucking nerve to say, no, I cannot, no. Bitch, what more do you need? Okay, at this point, it doesn't matter what I give you. You're just gonna deny it anyways, so it's useless. I mean, I get it's your mother, but at some point, it doesn't matter that she's your mother or not. You just have to face the facts, honey. You can't say, oh, this isn't your hand, this isn't your hand. It is the hand. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to say it. Like, if I'm showing you the truth, that's just the truth, hon. You can't say it's not. It is. If I'm showing it, it is, then it is. You know what I mean? Now you're just looking stupid. You're looking stupid. Okay, your choice, but you're stupid. So, whatever. I'm not gonna let it bother me anymore. Like, I'm not bothered anymore because I know that anyone who can look at this shit and can deduce, anyone with the ability to deduce is going to see and know the reality of the situation. Plain and simple. There's nothing more to say about that. And yes, my earbuds are still telling me connected, disconnected, just now, disconnected. Yeah. But when I get out of the car, they'll be fine. So, God. The only reason why I'm doing this right now is because I'm driving and I have the time to say all this, and there's so much more to say. I mean, I think I don't know. There's also a lot of things up in the air right now for our family and for our situation. There's things that I'm not sure if I should do or not. And I'm not gonna talk about it right now just because it's happening right now and I can't really discuss it. But I will talk about just about anything that I can. I will, because when I said I want this story told, I want the light shined on every part of it so that it can be rectified, and it has to be seen to be rectified. I meant it. I'm not going to be quiet about this. I'm not shutting up about this. I'm not going to be silent and just allow this shit to go on and to happen. I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's in my or my children's best interest at all. At all. No. No, I think the best thing for us to do is speak loud about what's going on, what's happening, what they're doing, what they're trying to get away with. Let the world hear and see it all. We're not going to hide anything. No, we're going to be open, we're going to be honest, we're going to be transparent, we're going to be loud about this, and we're going to get that flashlight and shine it on every inch of it. That's what needs to be done here, because without that, it's just going to continue. It's going to continue and continue and continue. This, to me, I'm at the place where this is the only way I can see to stop it in its tracks. Because everything else I have tried did nothing. If anything, it pushed it to continue. I swear, sometimes it seems like that. Like, the more I tried to make it stop, the more it was going to continue. Yeah, because it's sick shit. You know? So, I'm just doing my best to expose it all, and force it, with the exposure of it, force it to come to a halt. I mean, my children have already lost enough of their childhood to this sad, disgusting shit. And I'm desperate to let them have some of their childhood back and not be dealing with this. So, unfortunately, they're not making it easy. I say they, who I'm fighting against, they're not making that easy to accomplish. So I'm having to fight. But part of that fight is letting it be known, showing it to the world, to anyone who wants to hear and see. They're gonna hear and see, and it's not gonna be hidden. It's gonna be revealed. It's gonna be laid out in all its nastiness. It's gonna be laid out. There were plenty of opportunities they had to prevent this from happening. They didn't take those opportunities. They said, nope, we're good with that. So, I tried it. They just didn't want to go that route. So, they're forcing me to do this. They're forcing me. Some people might not agree with it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This is my life. These are my children. This is my situation. I've dealt with untold, unspeakable things. This is where I'm at. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. It's not your life. It's not your situation. It's mine. And I'm dealing with it how I see fit. Period. That's how it's going to be. So, no one's going to convince me otherwise. No one's going to convince me that it's not the way to go. You're just not. I promise you, you're not. You're not. So don't even bother trying if you think you should. Don't waste your time. Nope. I'm gonna do this how I think it needs to be done. And that's that. That is that. That being said, I of course welcome people's advice or suggestions or whatever to me. Comment, say what you want to say, go for it. If anything, it'll only help me. It'll help me any comments, negative or otherwise, they'll only help me get it more exposed, as far as I can tell, as far as I know, right? So go for it. Don't hold back. I can take it. I can take the criticism. I can take the judgment. Believe me, I've dealt with a lot worse. I promise you that. So I'm okay with it. And people are gonna do that anyways. You know, people judge. People think they know shit that they don't know a thing about. People think they have knowledge that they don't have a clue. You know, that's the case anyways. So I'm sure I'm going to get some of that. Doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to do what I see fit. I'm still going to do what I want to do. And I'm doing that because I think it's the best thing for me to do at this point. I've tried. Listen, if anyone has tried, you're looking at her. I just couldn't get anywhere. So I just want to make that clear. Like, I'm doing this at this point after a long time of trying to do it in another way and not getting anywhere. All right? I mean, I've been pushed here. I have been pushed here. And I fought it. I did fight it. To the best of my ability for as long as I could. Couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't do it anymore. I've taken so much abuse and mistreatment and cruelty and tried getting it to stop, and it wouldn't stop. So this is where I'm at. You know, I used to be that person that hid everything. I hid all of his abuse. I lied for him, kept it all secret. I did that for a long fucking time. Got me nowhere. You know, I did that thinking it'll be worth it in the end. It'll be worth it. Wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. So now I'm going just the opposite. Okay, that didn't work. That didn't get me where I wanted to go. Then I'll do this now. I'll do the complete opposite and reveal it all. Okay? Just so you know. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this happened and then I'm... No. It was a long time of trudging through and trying to do things in a different way. It got me nowhere but down. So I'm just trying to go up, people. That's all. Trying to go up. Trying to fight this disgusting shit. And I still can't believe this is my life. This is my life. This is what my life is. It's, I don't know if I'll ever, like, really come to terms with that. Like, you know, just like my twins are going to be 11 tomorrow. And I still am like, wow, I had twins. You know, it's like one of those things you just can't get over. Like, this is your situation. But this is my situation. And I'm doing the best I can with it. It's rough. And I know I've made mistakes. Absolutely. And I'll probably make some more. I mean, I'm a human being. But no matter what happens, no matter what mistakes I make or what things I get right, at any point in time, it's always going to be me doing my best. That's what it is. It's going to be me doing my best and being who I am, which is a genuine and real person who does care. I care a whole lot. I probably care way too much. I care too much. And that doesn't always get you anything good. But I can't help it. I am who I am. And you know what? He is who he is. And at least I can say that I'm real, I'm honest, and I'm doing my best for my kids and myself. Always. And that's it. Other than I appreciate anyone who's got an interest in any of this and spending any time listening to my story and watching what I'm going through and sending any support, whether it's just prayers or thoughts. It's appreciated. Very much so.